Hey, Shalom, all praises, honor, glory goes to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rachakwadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to you, brothers, pushing out this word in truth and sincerity. What I have here is a video about the current crisis going on in Lebanon, okay, and how these things are going to spill over, and they're going to soon come to America, as we're already seeing. Inflation come to play. Supply chains are breaking down. Commotions of the people due to this, Vanessa, and many other things that the scriptures tell us what happened in the last days. And I found this interesting out here in Lebanon, which is not being covered by the mainstream media. I remember speaking about these things some months back, how Lebanon, they had a currency crisis and how they're in hyperinflation. So I have this video here. We'll play some of this video just to show you what's going on in Lebanon, as well as I have another video about, there were actual gun battles going on between protesters and the military, where actually people died, as well as I have an article about their hyperinflation, which this video is going to touch on it also. But let's just play this, and then we'll get some scriptures. We'll just make it, to the point as much as possible. And these things are coming to America. Okay, let's play this.
Months ago, things were bad. The economic crisis was only getting worse. But now an entirely new crisis has emerged.
We cannot work. We cannot go to our jobs and act like everything's fine. I might lose my job if things escalate, and it's not up to me. It's not because of my performance or anything. It's because it's a shitty situation and we cannot do anything about it.
I work in sports, so we closed the gym due to the power issue we're facing.
The situation is very bad in Lebanon because there is no electricity, no water.
We paid like 4 times the amount of the usual tank of gas. It's crazy. It's been affecting my mental health. So the best decision for me now is to take the first opportunity to leave the country.
People have gotten used to it in a way, and it's kind of sad.
The water is freezing. I can't even take a shower because the water is freezing and there's no power.
Yeah, war, at least we had our basic needs, It was hard, it was scarce, but we had them. We could find ways to get bread. We could find ways to move around. We had fuel, Now it's like a slow burn.
Lebanon is facing a huge economic crisis. But
recently, as you just heard in the opening video, within the first minute, they're going through a power crisis. There's no gas. Okay, they're also going through there's no electricity, and they said that goods that they used to buy, they're 3-4 times more due to inflation. Okay, and the Lebanese people, their mental health is rapidly declining because they're catching all out hell, man. Okay, and this is coming to America. How much more America, where America enjoyed these first world amenities? You never really been without power. I mean, maybe there might be a tornado or a flood, but it didn't last for months on end, where you had a business and you couldn't open your business because there was no electricity or there's rolling blackouts. Let's play some more.
The crisis has become much bigger and much worse. Some parts of Lebanon are dark, going without electricity for 20 hours a day. Now it's experiencing severe diesel and petrol shortages. This doesn't just mean hours of long gas lines and extended blackouts, but unfortunately guns, knives, fights, and even a fight that broke out causing a gas tank to explode with dozens dead or injured.
And as you see with these shortages, it's making people really agitated to where they're actually fighting each other. Okay, because of these shortages, people are taking up arms. People are getting very aggravated. Okay, this is all prophecy. Let me bring out a scripture. I mean, so many scriptures we can go to. It's ridiculous. It's real quick. The love of many. Right. Matthew 24:12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. And this is happening in different parts of the earth. Okay, primarily we're talking about, in particular, Lebanon. Okay, which they're completely westernized. Okay, and now they're suffering. Pretty much they're going through an economic collapse. Like a Venezuela. They're pretty much almost in a state of what Venezuela was in. Okay. Let's continue to read some more. But you see here perilous times. Okay, and that's what let's come down here. Matthew 24:24, there shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, nor shall be. And except those days should be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days should be shortened. And I was watching earlier about the brother, a video of the brother out there in Barbados, in which he saw, he said he believed he had, he talked to an angel, and of course it had to be, And one thing that the angel said was that he knows him, as well as they're coming to gather elect very shortly. So these days are being shortened, and when I was watching that video, it was almost like a carbon copy of what, when I experienced, speaking to an angel. The angel pretty much said the same thing to me. He said he knows me. Okay, and that he's praying, and that he's praying, and that he's praying for us. So these signs are all over the place. Okay, as well as we can see videos like this, and know surely that it's going to come to America. Now, let me see. Did I finish that? Right. So let's go back. We got a little bit more of this video. I mean, it's 13 minutes long. We won't play it all, but we'll probably play half of it. We'll just see where we'll go.
This story is about so much more than waiting in line for gas for 2 or 3 hours. It's about a country in limbo. It's about patients who can't get medicine, hospitals that are threatening to shut down because they don't have electricity, and a young generation who can't really work or go to school even online when the lights are off. Are you waiting for gas right now?
Yes.
How long have you waited?
We'll wait 2 hours.
So you actually park your car here the night before, you walk home and sleep, and then you come back to your car in the morning?
In the morning, yeah.
3 times a week?
Yes.
Wow.
For like about 2 or 3 hours every day, you have to wake up in the morning and search for a gas station, and it depends on your luck. Either they will open or they are closed, and then you have to search for another gas station.
Around 2 hours and a half.
3 hours, 4 hours.
What I did not expect this morning was to see military and police at the gas station, and we're actually kind of hiding because they don't like that. They will grab phones if they see people filming. They don't want commotion. They don't want chaos. Just to make sure that there isn't like too much chaos and fighting going on. Because as you can imagine, if you're waiting in line every day for a few hours just to get gas, just to do something that you used to do within 5-10 minutes, people are angry, people are really upset. They're paying more than they've ever had to pay. They're waiting for simple things that they used to not have to wait for. Businesses in Lebanon are
we're seeing that. Remember this whole scamdemic where you had to wait in line for so many hours because they only allowed so many, people in the store? And then maybe you go into the store and then, the goods are not even there. And the last video that I just did, I spoke about how, I went into a Whole Foods, maybe an hour before it's going to close, hour and a half. And I had to wait in the line for damn near 30 minutes, 40 minutes. Not because they limited the amount of people that were in the, that can come into the store, but there wasn't enough people working at the store. Okay, so we're seeing shortages. That's all playing into it. And people are aggravated. People are angry, upset. Okay, something that you can go in and out of the store 10, 15 minutes. It's taking a couple of hours to get done.
To adapt. So much so that restaurants now even regularly deliver food directly to your car as you wait in line to fill up your tank.
We are in the hell. If anybody can help the Lebanese people, yeah, let's do it. In any way. Amjad, it's not... we can't live like this. We can't survive in this way.
It's depressing, man. It's depressing, like, total shit. Like, we don't have a solution, we don't have anything. So sad, depressing. Lebanese people are used to everything.
Is that bad or good?
Bad, but what should we do?
Out of all of the people I've interviewed, not one person has even mentioned the word COVID, which just goes to show how low on the list of concerns that is for people here in this country right now.
Left my husband in the hospital alone. He's in a very critical case. I left him alone because I have to fill my car.
Your husband is in the hospital.
Yes. And all the night I didn't sleep. Never.
Aside from basic transportation turning into a nightmare, basic electricity has also become hard to come by. Here in Lebanon, the government entity was never able to provide 24/7 electricity. So Lebanese have been using generators for decades. This means many people here often essentially pay 2 electricity bills. But now even generator companies aren't able to offer enough electricity that would fill in the gap for its customers.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
So I'm in this area of Beirut called Burj Hamoud, where you have a lot of working class families. I'm about to go into this spice shop, which surprisingly I'm feeling a nice flow of air conditioning, lighting, and I just want to see what it's like for them right now, given the situation.
The situation is very bad in Lebanon because there is no electricity, no water, there is nothing. It's so bad. There is no gasoline, there is no medicine, there is no milk for the children.
No life.
No what?
No life. We can't say anything, you know.
So it hurts business.
Of course. It hurts everything. No gas, for example, for a couple of days I can buy bike, my son's bike. You know the song Hello Darkness, My Old Friend? That's for the Lebanese people. And there's another song, Hotel California. We can watch out anytime we like, but we can never leave. We can watch through YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, but we can never leave. We are all hostages here. We are prisoners here.
It sucks. I've seen people waiting for 5, 6, 7 hours trying to get gas. Then the guy walks out and said, there's no more gas.
I'm a bakery. I should to come at morning time, 5 o'clock. There's no electricity. How I can work? Believe me, it's very, very real problem, this one. We don't have any other choices.
All of this is only adding to what the country is already going through, which is a massive currency crisis. So just to give you an example, a kilo of meat used to cost 16,000 lira just 2 years ago. Today, that would cost you almost 200,000 lira. Today in Lebanon, almost 4 in 5 people are estimated to be in poverty. But way before the gas crisis, the country was already in trouble. So how did this all get so bad? In less than a year, the Lebanese currency dropped a lot. For decades, it was pegged so $1 equaled 1,500 Lebanese lira. But it's gone off the rails. That value no longer really exists. And what's now used is called the black market rate, which fluctuates like crazy, even going to 20,000 Lebanese lira for every $1. All this means that this 100,000 banknote used to be worth more than $60, and now at times is worth less than $5. While wages, of course, didn't change this drastically. So everyday items like bread or milk have surged, especially compared to spending power. Because of all this, the Lebanese government has been subsidizing the price of fuel to ensure that it continues to have it. But now the government is running out of money fast, so those subsidies are ending. So now, on top of a currency crisis and gas shortages, customers have to pay a lot more just to fill up their tank.
You see that? And that's pretty much hyperinflation. Okay? I mean, you can watch this video if you want. There's a title there. Just going into, you know, how the lady said it in the video. They're living in hell, and that's just the beginning. You know, they're not really living in super bad. I mean, it's bad conditions, but it's, you know, you can tell that, you know, this economy, they had a pretty good economy beforehand. You know, everybody was doing pretty well. You know, they had, you know, businesses, you know, Beirut, Lebanon, they were doing great, man. You know, they had a large middle class. And now what we're seeing is, you know, a rapid decline and their economic status, okay, their buying power, and they're barely holding it together. It's going to spill over to where, well, let's look at this, okay? This is what's going on. Okay, this is recent, by the way. These things are all recent.
Our top focus this morning: in one of the worst violence seen in decades, the Lebanese capital had turned into a war zone for almost 4 hours. Fierce gun battle broke out in a port city of Beirut. Army tanks have rolled in. Ambulance sirens were wailing across the city, and evacuations were carried out by police and civilians. All this after gunshots were fired at protesters demonstrating outside the city's Palace of Justice. Gunshots were in the neighborhood, across the city, and evacuations were carried out by police and civilians. All this after gunshots were fired at protesters demonstrating outside the city's Palace of Justice.
You see that? So with the combination of all these things happening, gas shortages, currency crisis, power crisis, businesses being shut down, okay, hyperinflation, the rapid decline of mental health, violence against each other because of these disparities. You have protests going on, protesting against the government. Because who's to blame for this? When people get mad, who are they going to come to? The government, the ones that are in control of everything. And while they're doing that, they're being shot at. Okay?
Gunshots were seen coming out from the rooftops of nearby buildings. Snipers were reported on the top floors of the high-rises along the streets. This is Beirut's Tione neighborhood, a Shiite suburb. The Interior Minister has confirmed that 6 people have been killed, all of them by gunshots, and the Lebanese Red Cross put the number of wounded at 30.
في ضحايا، في المعلومات لحد هلا عندنا 6 قتلى، حوالي 16 جريح موزعين على المستشفيات. اكيد صرتوا بتعرفوهم وبتعرفوا اسمائهم. اكدنا بالحفاظ على السلم الاهلي اكثر واكثر، اتخاذ كافه الاجراءات والتوقيفات لحتى نقدر نستوعب الوضع.
Several loud bangs were heard in the area, likely from heavy shelling. Plumes of black smoke were rising from an apparent fire. The fire was seen raging off from shops, vehicles and buildings. Residents cowered in corridors away from windows as some were shattered by the gunfire. Some scurried outside, running towards ambulances in defense. Volunteers tried to evacuate civilians, including young children. People were caught stranded and terrified on the streets, running to find their acquaintances. Civilians were seen helping each other to find a safe shelter away from the gunfire exchanges between army and unknown attackers. A limp body was seen lying on the main street after the attacks. It was soon carried away by rescuers as gunfire rained around them. As soon as the attacks were reported, the army was deployed to the neighborhood. Tanks rolled into the suburbs and evacuations began here. The army started firing at the suspected buildings, which were reported to be the source of the gunshots. They warned that the residents had to steer clear of the buildings and started raiding them one by one. And after hours of fire exchange, guns went silent and an undeclared truce was seen on the streets of...
So you see that the military had to get called in. So you're going to start to see this happen in America, as we've seen little remnants, fragments of that, during 2020 with all these protests. And pretty much these protests are going to spill over. Biden has been giving away all, Biden's administration has been giving away all this free money. So it's kind of pacifying the people, all these different government programs, food programs that the people can get on. But what happens when all that runs out? What happens when, there's major power crises, major cyber attacks, right? We've seen that where they did that cyber attack on that pipeline that gas pipeline. Now what are we seeing? Especially over here in the West, gas is outrageous, which I rarely drive, but I had to fill my tank up the other day, and it was damn near $5 a gallon. So this is just pretty much just one of the people in this the first video we watched pretty much said it's like a slow burn. It's like a they're pretty much just being, I can't really find it, but it's no biggie. It's pretty much like a slow death, and it's going to spill over to where it's going to be all out chaos. And we're going to see this in all these different economies all around the world, as we're already seeing it. And it's going to hit America. The point is, it's going to hit America. Okay. I mean, it's going to hit America extremely hard. Let's bring this out real quick. Okay, this is from news.bitcoin.com. Hyperinflation hits Lebanon. Food prices soar to 200%. And we're already seeing food prices, increase. Biggest crisis since Civil War. Okay. Lebanon has entered hyperinflation. The first country in the Middle East and North Africa to do so, with a 462 annual inflation rate and food prices rising by almost 200% this month. Lebanon has joined Venezuela, in hyperinflation. Meanwhile, the Lebanese pound has lost 82% of its value this year. It has lost 82% of its value. That's hyperinflation. And I remember the Lebanese, they start buying up gold. Because they had a lot of gold. A lot of these Middle Eastern countries, they still have a lot of gold. Let me see if I could just type that in real quick. Real quick, let's see if I can find something. Right, you know how it's no biggie, but I remember the Lebanese people, they start to buy gold because the power of their pound, their dollar. Let's see what this means. Let's see what this says. The power of their dollars start to decline. Gold and Bentleys. Lebanese spend big to salvage savings. Let's see. Right. It says, worried that their life savings might vanish with a collapse, and they're going through a collapse right now, of the banking sector. Some Lebanese are emptying their accounts to buy property and luxury goods. Okay, to actually buy hard assets, because if they kept their money in the bank, they will lose the buying power of their cash. Let me see. Right, yeah, it talks about gold. I'm just kind of skimming through, see if we can get out of here. Companies are closing and restaurants are half empty, but in the gloom of Lebanon's worst economic crisis in decades, luxury jewelers, supercar dealers, and art galleries are doing brisk business. Worried that their life savings might vanish with a collapse of the banking sector, some Lebanese are siphoning cash from their accounts and buying the most expensive goods they can get in their hand. Yeah, because if you buy these expensive goods, there's a resale value on that. You're pretty much hedging against inflation, what they call it. Okay, so say you buy gold. Gold is going to pretty much be stable. Gold is pretty much a stable commodity. It's actual money. So say the dollar, it declines, your gold is going to actually appreciate. Okay, and the majority of the people, they don't know anything about hyperinflation. They don't know anything about how, finance works. Okay, which is very deceptive. And of course, Esau Edom is not going to, teach you about these things. Banks have slapped restrictions on withdrawals. Right. When this was going on, you had the Lebanese people pulling out of all the money out of the bank. And what did they do? The government, through the banking sector, they started to slap restrictions on, the amount of money that you can withdraw. And overseas transfers, lending some depositors to use cashier checks to spend savings they fear would otherwise be depleted by a haircut or a devaluation, right? Basically inflation. So say you got $20,000 in the bank right now, and you lose 82% of the buying power of that dollar. Shit, that $20,000 has a buying power of about 2,000. Okay, you know, 1,800. Okay, 82%. I want to say that's 1,800. So you got you have $20,000, but you can only buy about $1,800 or $2,000 worth of goods. And this is what's happening to the American the American economy, the dollar right now as we speak. That's why goods are going up, not necessarily because they cost more to manufacture, which that's playing a part in it too, because of the supply chains and it's taking more money to ship these things, shipping containers and all that, and which is all artificial. Okay, this is all playing into the collapse of this financial fiat system, because what, a new system is coming in. Okay, CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, or central bank digital currencies are coming, which is nothing other than the MOTB system, the B system, which everything is going to be digital, everything is going to be cashless. Okay, there will be no more need for cash, for coins. There's a coin shortage. Okay, so the elites are single-handedly, destroying all these world economies, and what we're seeing is Lebanon fall into the same situation as Venezuela, which a lot of these South American countries are now allowing Bitcoin to be used as currency. Okay, so things are spilling over. Let me read a little bit more. People want to diversify their investments as a precaution against the threat that hovers above the banking sector and national currency, Kenan said. And the Apostle Elder, what they put me on it, Tahar especially, he goes into buying gold and silver, which is just nothing but a hedge against inflation. Okay, because that gold is going to keep its value, and really it's going to go up in value. Okay, and your dollar, your $20 is going to have a buying power of 50 cents. This is what's coming. That's why food prices are going up. That's why gas prices are going up. Okay, shipping and receiving prices are going up. Not only you have shortages of workers, but through this so-called coronavirus and the policies that these governments have took, okay, to really put a hold on these sectors and put regulations that are pretty much destroying the economy. Okay, to be on the safe side, many choose to buy flats and houses outside of the Lebanon to fear that the property market could collapse too. And that's why you've seen during this whole scandemic, a lot of people started to buy property, and they'll pay 20-30% more just to buy that property, because that's a hard asset. Okay, and eventually the property, of course, is going to devaluate, but it's also going to increase also. Okay, but the everything is going to crash. The housing market is going to crash. The job sectors are going to crash. The fiat, the banking system is going to crash. The medical system is going to crash. Everything is going to come to a screeching halt. Let me get a scripture. What is that? Ecclesiastes 12. Ecclesiastes 12:1. Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not. Right, because the evil days are pretty much here, man. We're not knee deep in the evil days, but we're at the crux, the door of the evil days. We can see the evil days, in front of us. how they're going to rapidly come and overtake the masses of the people that are unawares. Now, you actually have a lot of people, a lot of Edomites, preppers that understand this concept. Of course, Esau, Edom in these financial sectors, the elites, they understand this concept because they're the ones creating this. Okay, nevertheless, you do have people that understand what's coming. And they, a lot of times they were deemed as kooks and crazy and, weirdos. Okay, even the prophets. We've seen these things afar off. Why? Because they're playing into biblical prophecy. Okay, in the end, they shall speak and not lie. Though they tarry, meaning what? The prophecies. And what are the prophecies? That there's a total collapse coming, a total breakdown in society, as we're seeing in Lebanon. The title of the video is "We're Living in Hell." Lebanon's gas crisis explained. So they have a gas crisis, they have a financial crisis. Their pound, okay, is being inflated. They're already in hyperinflation. Okay, so they have a currency crisis, they have a gas crisis, an energy crisis. Okay, a mental health crisis in the midst of an actual pandemic. So and then they're having protests, and they're having snipers pick people off. So what is that about? We see that all these things are being orchestrated to bring in this world government, to bring in this NWO, okay, order out of chaos. They want to bring as much chaos in the world as possible, so people cry out and say we need to change. And then here's Esau, Edom with this new system. Hey, look, we can do this. We just need you to give up more of your rights. But by you doing that, you're going to receive more. You're going to be protected. We're going to make sure that you're fine. You're good. Which that's all smokescreen. Okay, because this is all playing into the downfall of Esau, Edom. Okay, the wicked elite. They believe that they're the phoenix that's going to rise out of the chaos. Okay, in that mythology. Okay, but this is how these people are moving. This is how they're, this is what they're doing. And Lebanon is just one of many countries that are going to suffer. This is global, by the way. The whole world is going to experience this because this is a global economy. One economy is dependent on another economy. So when these big economies crash, like China, like US, like France, like Great Britain, like Japan, when these big economies crash, how much more these smaller economies? So we're already seeing these smaller economies go through these shortages, and there's no end in sight. Okay, where you got to wait multiple hours just to get gas, just to fill up your tank. Okay, your business can only open at for so many hours because there's rolling blackouts. Okay, you're not promised electricity, power. Okay, as well as your buying power of your money is gone. Well, the statistic, the guy said 4 out of 5 people in Lebanon are suffering poverty. It says, remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. While the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and we're seeing this, the keepers of the house are starting to tremble, those who watch after the economy. So many different whistleblowers out there saying this crash is coming, this economic collapse is coming. A lot of people are liquidating these businesses, these big companies. Okay, America is being pretty much being liquidated because a new system is being implemented, and a lot of people are going to fall victim to the beast system. And the strong men shall bow themselves. Right, you're going to have people that were once of stature. They're gonna be bow. Let's look at this word bow. I wath, something like that. To be bent, be crooked, Bend, make crooked, pervert, falsify, pervert, subvert, turn upside down, overthrow. Pretty much, just the bend. Like a woman in travail, as the scriptures say. The strong men. There's many precepts on that, how the mighty men of Babylon were born to fight. Real quick, let's go to Isaiah real quick. It talks about that in Isaiah 13. Right. Isaiah 13:6. Howl ye, for the day of the Lord is at hand. It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. Therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt. See? And they shall be afraid. Pain and sorrow shall take hold of them. This is basically what we're reading in Ecclesiastes. Because this is just the economic side of things. That's going to spill over to what? Actual war, world war. Because of the lack of resources. Okay? They shall be in pain as a woman. See, they shall bow themselves. That they travail, that travaileth, they shall be amazed one at another. Their faces shall be as flames. So that's essentially what we're reading here in Ecclesiastes. Of this economic collapse that's coming. And this plays on your mental health, by the way, as they stated in that video. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few. And we're seeing the grinding cease. Before this whole thing even happened, this Vicky, Vanessa, this C19, you already had a retail apocalypse. You already had unemployment skyrocketing. Okay, and this just pushed these world economies over the edge, because big changes are happening. But see, this is pretty much the sign that this man is about to get out of here, because as he brings this system in and chaos pursues, his destruction also is right around the corner. And the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the window be darkened. Right, you look out of the window, as your outlook on life. It's when you look out of the window, it's bleak, it's dark, you don't see a future. There's no end in sight. Like how can things get better? Things are only getting worse, and this is what's going on in all these world economies. Okay, and we're experiencing that in the States. But see, in the States, there's people still have a lot more than these other countries. Okay, all hell hasn't completely broken loose yet, but we're at the beginning stages of that. We're pretty much at a point to where it can break out at any moment. And the door shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low. Okay, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. So let's go. Where were we at? Let's read a little bit more of this article. We'll just kind of wrap it up. Secure your savings with a property investment in Greece. You can pay it for Lebanon. Secure your savings with a property investment in Greece. You can pay for it in Lebanon, reads a Facebook ad for a real estate agency. Gold is golden. So you're going to see a lot of people start trying to move over to gold and silver. Yet these things are not going to save you. Okay, because number one, you might be able to barter, for a small moment, but the elder Monaghan, he went into a lesson. Let me see if I can pull up that scripture. How this place is going out with a speedy riddance. Let me see. Where is that scripture? I was watching a lesson. What is? I forget how the scripture goes. Okay, Zephaniah. There we go. Zephaniah. Right, Zephaniah. Right, they're right here. Zephaniah 1 and 18. Neither. Let me start up. 1 and 14. The great day of the Lord is near. It is near and hasteneth great. Right, it's coming. It's literally coming. It's about to take the world by surprise. Okay. All these things. Why are all these things happening simultaneously? Because the day of the Lord is near. It's hastening greatly. What does this word hasten mean? Well, we're in the year of hasten. Okay, wake up. It is high time to awake out of sleep. That word there is mahar. Hurrying, speedy, swift, hastening, quickly. Okay, down here in the Strongs. Soon. At once. Okay, hence. These things are, it's like they're happening overnight. More policies, more draconian laws, more disparity, more conflicts, more commotions, more depletion of these people's mental health, more evils. Evils are increasing. Even the voice of the day of the Lord, right? The prophets that are speaking, the day of the Lord into existence by prophesying. Even the voice, there's more videos going out. There's more people waking up. The mighty men shall cry there bitterly. See, we're just reading that. Ecclesiastes 12, Isaiah 13. There's many scriptures on it. How these mighty men of this society, they're going to cry. They're going to wail. They're going to weep because of the things that are going on. Massive death, massive die-off. Okay, economic despair. Okay, people turning on each other. That day is a day of wrath, see? A day of trouble and distress. A day of wasteness and desolation. A day of darkness and gloominess. So yeah, we are the prophets of doom. We're speaking of this day coming. Now, if the scriptures say that, a day of love and peace was coming, we'll speak that. But that's not what the scriptures say. The day of love and peace is going to come after the destruction. Okay, when that righteous New Jerusalem comes down from heaven. But before that can be established, all hell has to break loose. Okay, order out of chaos. The Yahweh Shem Shai is going to bring in the order, but he's going to use chaos. Okay, a day of cloud and thick darkness, a day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers. And I will bring distress upon men. So this is what we're seeing. Okay, the Lord bringing distress upon men, upon the people, men and women, children. Okay, right here, we're living in hell. Lebanon's gas crisis explained. Okay, this is just the beginning. Like, this is just the beginning. But these things are going to rapidly overtake the earth. It's going to be almost like in a moment. These things are going to happen. This hell, Jacob's trouble, is not going to be long drawn out for years on years. I don't know how long. It could be weeks. It could be months. Okay. Let's go back. And I will cause distress upon men that they shall walk like blind men. They're going to be in a confused state, gross darkness, because they're not going to know what's going on. Even Esau, Edom, he's going to be in darkness. He's going to be in blindness because they have sinned against the Lord. Right. This is punishment. So all these economic disparities that are coming, all these things that are coming to the earth, is punishment because they have sinned against Yahweh Shem Shai. Okay, blaspheme against Yahweh Shem Shai. And their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as dung. Neither their silver nor gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath. Because, right here in the article says gold is golden. The Lebanese pound has been officially pegged to the dollar since 1997, but it has lost a third of its value on the parallel market recently. With the prospect that Lebanon might resurrect or default on its debt after years of economic mismanagement and corruption, many Lebanese feared that the official devaluation of the pound would slash their savings. The loss of confidence in the banking sector that was once a source of national pride is such that deposits in Lebanon has slumped by $12 billion over the first 11 months of 2019. For years, deposits have been fueled by influx of money from Lebanese vast diaspora and Gulf residents who were attracted by high interest rates. These rates, however, have decreased significantly since December, furthering dissuading depositors abroad and at home from putting their money in the bank. Okay, despite the control slapped by banks to prevent capital flight, Lebanese depositors can still ask for cashier checks as they are using them to buy goods they feel will not depreciate or can be easily resold abroad. More and more clients are buying gold coins, see? Chains, bracelets, and necklaces. Because they know something. They're like, oh shit, we got to go to gold. Only for their monetary value, right? Only because they hold value. Said one jeweler whose business has 14 branches nationwide. One car dealer who also asked not to be identified said Lamborghinis and Bentleys, sometimes fetching $400,000, were still in demand even as auto sales are generally plummeting because those cars are going to hold value. But see, none of these things are going to, save you from the day of the Lord. That's the point. Let's read that again. We'll just close it out. Neither their silver nor gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath. Because you have a lot of people buying gold and silver because they see, where the dollar is going. They see where, this new system is going. How all these world economies, their fiat of currency is being devalued and destroyed. Their buying power is being devalued and destroyed. But the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy. America, Babylon the Great. For he shall make a speedy riddance, see, of all them that dwell in the land. So this thing is happening. It's happening right now as we speak. Okay, and this and the things that's going on in Lebanon is going to come to Babylon the Great, America. Okay, spiritual Egypt and Sodom. And it's going to totally devastate you people who've been living carelessly. And it's going to happen like it just, it's going to seem, there we go. It's going to seem like these things just happen just all of a sudden. Because the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shema Shai, is making a speedy riddance. Let's look at this word speedy and we'll just close it out. Bahal, to disturb, alarm, terrify, hurry, be disturbed, be anxious, be afraid. To be in haste. See, be hasty, to make haste. Act hastily, be hurried, be hastened. We read in Matthew 24 how the Lord is going to speed up the time for the elect's sake. So this is essentially what's going on, and we're seeing this all. We're the prophets. We're seeing these things happen, and we're relaying the message to the nation of Israel, as well as we're telling the whole world that Yahweh Shai is coming to destroy you. Okay. All right. Shalom to the elect.